today we are turning the hay. So we're using the vintage tractors. I'm on the Massey Ferguson 135 and Nick is on the David Brown, and it is our first time using the hay bob or whatever it's called to ted the hay. The first thing to note is that I am aware that when you are tedding the hay you must go in an anti-clockwise direction, whereas mowing was clockwise. Tedding is anti-clockwise, and I don't actually know why, but something to do with the way the machine's configured anyway. So I maybe went clockwise once, and Nick stopped me and went, "Joey, stop, you'll break the machine." So after that I cooperated. It was quite a fast learning curve. The first time driving with the machine on the back was quite mind-blowing because I couldn't quite figure out my sense of space. So the first gateway was interesting and the first bit of driving was interesting, but I quickly learned as I went. Also quite funny was the first time that I started up the tractor, I had the hay bob on the ground and within about 20 seconds managed to score a great big load of circles in the ground with dust flying everywhere, and I was like, I don't think this is right. And so I figured out that you should start the machine with it slightly off the ground, and then you don't have the problem of the tines cutting into the ground, and then you set off and then lower them down. So it's kind of like multitasking. So you're driving and you're looking behind and you're lowering and lifting the hay bob as you go. So I learned that, and it was funny because now that I look back and remember the first day, it was quite amusing really that I didn't know that. Also, the joys of using a vintage tractor. We did have a few small problems with the 135. At one point it was cutting out, just some issues with the revs. I think I needed to perhaps sometimes go in a lower gear. So again, more fine tuning and experience was needed. A couple of the fields under the moor are quite steep at the top, so another fun experience was getting to the top and going down the hill and feeling like you were going to run away, whereas heading up the hill you really had to manage your gear and make sure that you had the right amount of revs to keep the machine moving forwards and running correctly. So again, it was all learning, and the sun was out, there was a lovely breeze. It was quite enjoyable once I started to find my feet. So as you can probably see, it's quite a breezy day. I'm sure that it is a good day for haymaking, for drying. So we are having a warm day, a dusty day, dusty, breezy. But now that we are getting the hang of it, and bearing in mind that it is 2:45 in the afternoon, now we're getting the hang of it, it's starting to be a bit more enjoyable. But we have had all number of different questions raised by not really knowing how to attach things and how to get in the right way for working, I think is the best way of putting it. But we're getting there. My Uncle Peter came up to have a look, our friend Will came to have a look, and none of us have the knowledge that my dad had. Obviously it's my dad's equipment, he had a lifetime of working with it, so he was the man really that knew everything. we're just muddling through. So we've got that field over there and the field behind, and then one more field, and then that is us done for the day. One turn. I just love the view going down the hill. Felt a bit like a roller coaster when you turn the corner and head down a bit steeply at the top. But those views are just gorgeous, and I totally appreciate them, don't take them for granted, and thoroughly enjoyed every minute of them, really. What's happened?
Tins just keep coming out, and this thing's come out. So I'm tying it up with some string.
That came out, so that's got a makeshift pin in it because that worked its way out. That's worked its way out, so it's caused a great big blockage of hay, which I've just freed up. So twine's going to save the day and get us back on the road. This is Nick on the 885, and this is in the field that we call the cart track field, and it's the one that was closed off the last, so it does have the least amount of crop, but we're still hopeful that we'll get a worthwhile number of bales off it, and yeah, the views up here are lovely, and I've got really good memories of watching my dad haymaking up in this corner of the farm. I think it's my favourite little piece of Dale farm that we have. This is looking back over a field that we call the field under the moor, and you can see the crop looks a lot better and the hay is nice and fluffed up, ready to dry out. Here we are tedding out the hay down at my uncle's. So there's about 12 acres down here and about 22 acres up at the farm. And just looking at the hay, this field was absolutely full of various different wildflowers. You can see some of them here. A really sort of decent crop as well. And if you can just see in the fields in the distance up there, that is the farm. Those fields up there are where we were haymaking. And here we are down in the lovely flat fields down here. So I'm going to finish the video with some footage of Nick with the 885 doing a small field that we are going to be baling ourselves. I think it's about 1.5 acres and it's going to be small bales. So we will be getting out the Massey baler, which is another Dale Farm vintage heirloom, let's say. So looking forward to showing you guys that. And thank you for watching the haymaking video. I hope that you've enjoyed it and look forward to reading your comments. And until the next video, thanks, bye.